So today we are going to learn about decimals. Okay? Let's read the objective first. Let's read it all together. Okay?
Objective.
It's up here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I will be able to use decimal notation for fractions with a denominator of 10.
Good. Okay. So you might be asking yourself, what's a decimal? Okay. What is a decimal? Or actually, I know what you guys know what a fraction is because you learned this the past 2 weeks, right? What's a fraction?
A fraction is a denominator and a factor.
Okay, so a fraction has a denominator
And a factor.
and a numerator.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that it has a denominator. Good. And a numerator. Okay. A fraction is also part of a whole, right? It's a part of it. We don't have the whole thing. This would be considered a whole pizza, right?
That's 1/4.
This is only part of a pizza.
1/4.
1/4, exactly, because you learned this, okay? Now a decimal
Just
is
this.
another way to write a fraction. But before we talk about decimals, we also need to go back to kind of the beginning of the year where you guys learned about place value. Do you remember place value?
Yeah.
So I gave you a number like this. Let's say the number was place
Five?
value. Let's say I give you the number
7.
537.
Okay.
And I asked you, Alexis A. What place value is a 5 in?
In the ones?
Do you agree? Do you agree? Is a 5 in the ones place?
There's 2 different
537.
$5. No, it's not like that. It's $5 with 37.
Oh, you're talking about this.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if it doesn't have a decimal and then the number is just 537?
I know.
What would you tell me? What position is the 5 in?
It's one. One hundred.
Okay, do you need help? And I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Alexis J.
It's 100 value. It's like in a 100's place.
In the hundreds place. So the 5 is in the hundreds place.
And the 3 is in the ones, and
The
seven
3, Christian.
is in the tens.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
The 3 is in the tens, and Alexis 8.
It's in the
The
hundreds.
7 is in the what?
Hundreds.
Well, the 5 is in the hundreds place.
No.
The 7 is in the 3 is in the tens place.
But we didn't learn this yet. I think it's thousands.
You learned this at the beginning of the year.
Oh.
So this is the ones place. Okay? So the 7 is in the ones place. Let's try a different number, okay?
Okay.
Let's try.
Can I tell you a number?
Sure, give me a number.
7.
Give me a bigger number, like in the hundred.
Oh, okay. 735.
Okay? 735. Christian, what place value is the 7 in?
Hundreds.
Very good. So I'm going to put an H for hundreds. Alexis A, the
Tens.
3. Very good. And Alexis J, the 5.
The ones.
The 5 is in the
And the ones.
place.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to put an O. So that's what you did a while ago. So we're just kind of like bringing this up so that you're able to make connections to what we're going to do today. Because when we look at decimals, decimals always also have place values. Okay? We're going to, and by the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to answer this question. How are fractions and decimals similar? Because they're similar, and you're going to see how we're going to do it. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to use two models. We're going to use the tens model, which is for fractions, and we're also going to use the place value chart to put our numbers in the right place, to put our decimals in the right place. This period that we have here is the decimal point. What is this?
The decimal point.
Okay, so we have the ones place,
The
the tenths, and the hundredths. Okay, so you're each going to get one.
Yay, green.
Okay, and you'll each get a marker because you're going to need it.
Okay. Do I have to get black?
Yes, you're going to get black. Okay, I'm going to erase the place this here. Okay, let's look at this fraction that we wrote up here. 3/4. I'm sorry. I'm going to change it to 3/10 because today we're focusing on the denominator of 10. Exactly. So if we look at our first model, the rectangle is broken up into how many parts? How many equal parts? Count them.
10.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So if we shade all of them, it's one whole?
Yeah. If I were to shade all of this, it's one whole.
Okay.
But what if I wanted to figure out 3/10? If I wanted to show that
We just have to shade
here.
in 3.
Okay, so go ahead and show me that. Go ahead and show me 3/10.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Just give us that.
Yeah, doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian, can you tell me what's on your model? What did you do?
3/10.
So you shaded in
3.
3 what?
3/10.
Okay, so you shaded in 3 parts
Of 10.
out of the 10, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we would say you have 3 out of how many?
10. 10.
Out of 10. Okay? Now, if we wanted to write that as a decimal, so I have 3/10, right? I have 3/10. Okay. So now if I look at, let's go down to my place value chart. Okay? I have my ones place, my tenths place, my hundredths place. Do I have any whole numbers? Because if I have any whole numbers, it's
Yeah.
gonna go here in the ones place.
Can I tell you which one? It's
Do I have a whole
Yeah.
number? What's my whole number?
10, but we actually have to put the 1 and the 0 right here and the 3. And that's 1, no, 3/100ths.
Okay, I can see why you want to put the 10 here and the 3 right here, but let's look at it this way, okay? How do we say this, Christian? How do we say this fraction?
3/10.
3/10, right? Where, do you hear that at the end? You say tenths. Where should, here we have ones, tenths, hundredths. If we're saying that 3/10, okay, we're saying 3/10, where do you think the 3 should go? In the ones, the tenths, or the hundredths? Alexis J.
I think it's in the ones.
You think it's in the ones?
Yes.
Okay, Alexis thinks it should go here. Okay,
Me too.
Christian, what do you think?
I think the 10, the 3 goes into the 10.
You think the 3, Christian thinks the 3 goes here. You know what? Christian is correct because we're saying 3/10. And when we read this, it says 3/10. We don't have any whole numbers because remember, Alexis A?
Yeah.
Remember when you told me if I had shaded all of this in,
It's
then
one
I would
whole.
have 1. Then If I had shaded all of this in, then I would have had one hole. So I could have put the 1 right here. Do I have everything shaded?
No. No.
Right now I do.
Yeah.
What about before?
No. No.
How many do I have shaded?
3. Only 3.
Only 3. So I have part of a hole. So I have 3/10. So my 3 goes here, and you can just put a 0 there. So that's how I write 3/10.
Doesn't count.
The 0, yeah, the 0 doesn't really mean anything.
It just.
So I have 0 ones, but I do have 3 10s. Okay? Let's.
Something said that 0 doesn't count because it won't make any sense.
Yeah, we wouldn't say 0
10
and 3. I mean, you could. It's not wrong, but you could just say 3/10. Okay? Let's try another one. I'm going to give you a problem here.
Do we erase it off?
You can erase what you have on here.
Even this?
Yep, even the bottom. And I'm going to give you another fraction. Okay? Let's try.
Can I give you a number?
I want to choose a number.
Okay.
Christian, can you read the new fraction I wrote up here?
8/10.
8/10. So go ahead, use the tenths model to show me 8/10. Okay? And somewhere next to your, I see you guys are almost done. Somewhere next to your chart, write blank out of blank. You can write it up here. You can write it up here. You can write it to the side.
Wherever we want.
Wherever it fits. I want you to write how many you shaded in out of the total. Good question. I see you writing. Let me shade mine in really quickly, too, so I can compare mine with yours.
Okay.
Okay. Did you guys write? Did you fill it in, Alexis J? Can you fill it in? What number should go here? What number should go here?
8 should go on the left side. And
Wait, go ahead, just write it.
Oh.
I'm waiting for you, and I'm waiting for Alexis A.
There we go.
Okay, let's compare it. Mine looks something like this. Can you guys show me how yours looks like?
Okay.
Very good. 8 out of 10. Very good, Alexis J. And Alexis A. Very good. Now show me, if this is 8/10, how are we going to write it as a decimal? How are we going to write it? Christian.
We're going to put, since you taught us, like the last time, if we shade in 3/10, you could hear the TH. So you need to put the 8 here, and you need to put the 0 here. So it's 8/10 plus the 10.
You're absolutely correct. And I loved how you explained it. Okay? Good job explaining that. Do you agree?
Yes.
Do you guys agree with Christian?
Do you have to put the 0? No.
I would say yes, put the 0 here. Okay? Because it lets people know that we don't have any whole numbers.
Okay. Do we erase it?
So what, can you explain to me why you put the 8 in the tens place?
Because there's not a number, because if we put the 1 right here and the 0 right there, we're going to have a different number than 8/10.
You're right. We are going to have a different number. And when you read this fraction, what do you hear?
8/10.
Tenths, right? 8
So
tenths.
that's
So
why-
this also says
Yeah.
8 tenths. Okay? Okay. We're going to continue to use this, but I want you to open up your book.
Do I erase it all?
You may erase this for now. But we're going to do the first example. You're going to open it up to page
800, 680.
it's lesson 2. 637. You can keep it there. Because you're just going to keep using this. Okay? Alexis J, can you read this word problem right here?
Okay, that's it. Lorena and Rebecca went to 10 horseback riding lessons. 3 of the lessons were outside the bar. What decimal represents the part of the horseback riding lessons that were spent outside?
Okay. So, in total, how many lessons are there?
3, 10.
In total. Right. So, in total there's 10, right? There's 10 lessons. How many of those lessons were outside, Christian?
3.
Okay. So, outside, there was 3 lessons, right? Okay, so show me in your tense model how to write this as a fraction. So in total we know there's 10,
Yeah.
and we're only shading in how many?
3.
Because those 3 lessons were outside. Okay, so let's go ahead. Show me that. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and write the decimal for it, go ahead and write it too. Good job. Good job. Good job. How do we say that, Alexis J? How do we say the decimal?
3/10.
3/10. So our fraction looks like this. 3/10. And our decimal looks like this. Right? Okay. So I want to see, can you guys tell me how fractions and decimals are similar? How are they similar? Like, how are they the same? We did I showed you the tense model, right? Then I showed you the place value chart for the decimals. How are they the same? Alexis A, do you want to explain?
Yeah. I think all they are the same is they both have numbers, and the thing is that when you put the decimal, like tens and hundreds, you actually put them by the side. If it's a number with 0, it has to put the 0 right here, and the top number, the numerator, has to go by the side of it.
Okay.
It's just like side and up, down.
Oh, so you're saying that the fraction is just going vertically, and the decimal is going horizontally.
Yeah.
Okay. Alexis J, do you want to explain how they're similar? How are they the same?
The fraction at the decimal?
Like when we have 3 tens, right? We have 3 tenths. And then here we don't have any whole numbers, and I have my 3 there, right? How are they similar?
They're similar because
What do you notice?
that the 10 is just written in words, and the 3 is in the bottom.
Yeah, the tenths is actually the place value, right? Okay, good. And Christian, you're the last one.
So,
How is a decimal and a fraction similar?
I think the decimal and the fraction I think they're similar because right here, I think this is the answer. This is the denominator and the fraction or
Yeah, this is a fraction, right?
And then these are the denominator, and this is the way how to answer it. It tells you a clue how to answer it.
That's true. You use the fraction to help you write it as a decimal, because just the way you're saying it, 3/10 is the way you're going to write it as a decimal. Okay? Okay. So let's go into I want you to try it now on your own, okay? Without my help.
Do we go to
So independently, I want you to try it on page 639. So I want you to try number 3 independently.